Good morning, my dear students. I hope you all are keeping safe and healthy and you're taking all the important precautions during this pandemic. My name is Abha and I'm here today to share a story with all of you. The name of the story is The Smart Tailor. So once upon a time there was a tailor and his name was Riol. Riol was very hardworking. He made really pretty and beautiful dresses for all the women who lived in his village. He was admired by everyone. One afternoon when he was working, it was really hot. So he opened all the windows for cross ventilation. But while working, flies entered his room. Not one, not two, but 7 of them. And it really irritated him. He didn't know what to do because he was not able to concentrate on his work. So then, with a cloth, he started to shoo them away. Within 2 minutes, all the flies vanished. Riol felt accomplished. He felt that he was very brave actually. And then he wanted to actually tell this to all the villagers. He picked up his bag and then he also put a piece of cheese in case he became hungry on the way. And then he started off. While he was walking, it was very sunny and he became tired. So he decided to rest for a while. He saw a huge stone and then he took off his bag and lied down there. But he had no clue that he was resting on a giant's foot. After a few moments, he was actually woken up with the shaking of the ground. When he turned around, he saw a huge giant standing in front of him. But he was not at all scared. The giant was really angry. He said, "How dare you sleep on my feet?" Riol said, "Well, I don't think it was a prestigious foot. Actually, it's smelly," which made the giant more angry. And he told him that he could do a lot of harm to Riol. Riol, in response to him, said, "You know what? I have chased away 7. This put the giant in wonder. He thought, he had chased 7? Does he mean 7 giants? Well, he told Riol, "You know what? I can crush a stone into a powder." And then he picked up a stone and he actually crushed it. It became powder. Riol recalled that he had a piece of cheese inside his bag. He told him that he could actually crush a small stone into liquid. He took out the cheese and because it was so hot, the cheese was almost in the molten state. And he crushed the cheese and it became liquid. This amazed the giant. Then the giant challenged him more. He said he could throw a stone to a very vast distance. And so on and so forth. There came a point where the giant actually gave up and walked away. Riol again felt good about himself and he kept on walking. After walking for a few hours, he came to a beautiful garden. And then he wanted to rest under a tree. While sitting for a while, he fell asleep. The gardens was very beautiful. A guard came next to Riol and woke him up. He said, "How dare you sleep in the king's garden?" "A king?" "Yes." Riol stood up and he said, "Why don't you go and tell the king that I would want to meet him?" After a few minutes, Riol was called inside. The king told Riol about the problem that they were facing. They were actually very tired with 2 giants in the kingdom. And he told Riol if he could chase away those 2 giants, he would allow him to marry the princess. Riol was very happy and he was very confident that he could easily chase away the 2 giants. So then, the next day, he went to the forest which was inside the king's kingdom premises. He spotted the two giants. They were sleeping under a shady tree. He climbed the tree. Fortunately, it happened to be an apple tree. He threw one apple on one of the giants. He woke up and angrily he asked the other giant, "Did you hit me?" Unaware of it, the other giant told him that no, and he went back to sleep. Then Riol did the same with the other giant. This carried on for a few minutes. But after a while, both the giants became aware that none of them were hitting each other, but there was somebody who was trying to harm them. And then they stood up and decided to go in search of this person. The moment they stood up, a huge cage fell on them and they were trapped. Soon the guards came out and both the giants were put behind the bars. The king was very happy with Riol's plan and getting the giants into the jail. Soon the princess and Riol were married with a lot of pomp and show. Riol was very happy with his new life. But one day, while Riol was sleeping, the princess was reading a book and she heard Riol talking about stitching clothes. He was dreaming. But the princess had discovered that this man was not a nobleman or a prince or a knight, but an ordinary tailor. She was extremely furious. She went to the king and told him everything. The king decided to send the guards at late night and throw Riol out of the kingdom. Well, Riol was also very smart. Sooner or later, he got to know about the king's plan. That night, he did not sleep and he stayed very alert. Around 11:30, he heard footsteps out of his room. He knew they were the guards. He pretended to sleep, and in his sleep, he started to murmur about how many people and guards he had fought. The guards, after hearing what Riol said, became really scared, and they did not intend of moving inside the room. They went back, and Riol smiled to himself. In this way, Riol, not with his strength, but with his smart and sharp mind, had actually overcome each and every problem that came his way. So my dear students, in life we face a lot of crises, a lot of problems, where more than our physical strength, our mind and our intelligence helps us to get out of those problems. So I hope you like this story, and when you also face the same kind of problems, you try to use your brain more than your physical strength and always act proactive rather than reactive. Thank you so much.